Hello, thank you for joining with me. We are in A Course in Miracles workbook for students, part 2 of the workbook, section 6, What is the Christ? Please read or listen to my YouTube video on this section, What is the Christ, in its entirety today. We are on lesson 273. The stillness of the peace of God is mine. Perhaps we are now ready for a day of undisturbed tranquility. Footnote 80. This lesson seems to be a kind of sequel to lesson 255. This day I choose to spend in perfect peace, which is also devoted to having a day of peace, and which also begins by raising the issue of our readiness for such a day. It does not seem to me that I can choose to have but peace today. If this is not yet feasible, we are content and even more than satisfied to learn how such a day can be achieved. If we give way to a disturbance, let us learn how to dismiss it and return to peace. We need but tell our minds with certainty, the stillness of the peace of God is mine, and nothing can intrude upon the peace that God Himself has given to His Son. Footnote 81. This is another response to temptation instruction, which promises that if we use today's idea to dismiss all disturbances of our peace, we can enjoy a day of undisturbed tranquility. Father, your peace is mine. What need have I to fear anything that can rob me of what you would have me keep? I cannot lose your gifts to me. And so the peace you gave your Son is with me still, in quietness and in my own eternal love for you. And now we will read the commentary by Alan Watson and Robert Perry. The stillness of the peace of God is mine, and then the practice comments by Robert Perry. Today's lesson again provides instructions for response to temptation. Whenever you give way to a disturbance today, tell your mind with certainty, the stillness of the peace of God is mine. You then might add, some related thoughts based on this lesson's teaching, such as, nothing can intrude upon the peace God gave His Son, or nothing can rob me of what He would have me keep. Commentary. I love the way the Course makes room for all of us, and this is by Alan Watson, whatever our level of attainment. So I love the way the Course makes room for all of us, whatever our level of attainment. Some of us, it says, may be ready for a day of undisturbed tranquility, and for some of us, this may not yet be feasible. If we have done the workbook lessons from the beginning, we have already done 272 lessons. Yet a day of undisturbed tranquility may not yet be feasible. Feasible means possible or doable. There is no sense of put down in this. No tone of saying, some of you haven't been doing your work. It simply says it isn't possible for you yet. Even the yet has meaning because it clearly states that it will be possible for us eventually. The author of the Course has total confidence in every one of us. Not just those of us doing the Course, but in every one of us. One day it will be possible for me, for you, and for everyone to spend a day in undisturbed tranquility. Isn't that wonderful to think about if you aren't at that place yet? This is a quote from the from the workbook. Lesson 122. Do you want a quietness that cannot be disturbed, a gentleness that can never be hurt? a deep, abiding comfort, and a rest so perfect that it can never be upset. All this forgiveness offers you, and more. The lesson suggests to us that if we are not yet ready to spend a day in perfect peace, we can still be content and even more than satisfied. The way to peace is also a way of peace. There is no need to be upset because we cannot yet be perfectly peaceful. To lose what peace we have because we are not perfectly at peace is not a productive state of mind to be in. We can be at peace about not being at peace. That is where we begin. We are content and satisfied to learn how a day of undisturbed tranquility is possible. We need to be happy learners, happy to be learning how to be peaceful, even while we are not yet peaceful. And how do we learn that? This is a quote from chapter 1. No, this is a quote from the lesson. I apologize. If we give way to a disturbance, let us learn how to dismiss it and return to peace. We need but tell our minds with certainty, the stillness of the peace of God is mine, and nothing can intrude upon the peace that God Himself has given to His Son. In other words, we simply instruct our minds that peace has been given us by God. When disturbance arises, we dismiss it. This is the practice of mental vigilance, so often taught in the text. We do not allow the disturbance to remain undisturbed. We recognize it as something we do not want and instruct our minds to return to peace. It says we do this with certainty. This is not a striving, trying to shut it down the ego. It is gentle but firm, calm and not anxious. We are telling our minds, peace, be still. There is no stressed out way to peace. The words, the stillness of the peace of God is mine, come from a place within us that is always at peace. In speaking them to ourselves with quiet certainty, we have already connected with that place of peace within us. And so the peace you gave your Son is with me still, in quietness, and in my own eternal love for you. If you would please close your eyes, and I'll lead you in the meditation. Of course, you can't close your eyes if you're driving, so please don't do that. Lesson 273. The stillness of the peace of God is mine. Father, your peace is mine. What need have I to fear that anything can rob me of what you would have me keep? I cannot lose your gifts to me. And so the peace you gave your Son is with me still, in quietness, and in my own eternal love for you. Thank you so much for joining with me in this meditation of Lesson 273. The stillness of the peace of God is mine. I love you. Have a beautiful day.